Hi, I'm Shelley Durrance. I am the Special Education Coordinator for Northwest Catholic District School Board. I was baptized in the Catholic Church as a baby, and then my family and I moved all around Northwestern Ontario for a lot of my childhood years, and I didn't really have any further faith development or formation. As an adult, I've always considered myself to be Catholic, but in the last few years I've been thinking about doing the other sacraments, but there just never really seemed to be a right time. My job entails a lot of travel, and I didn't think I could commit a weekly session to an RCIA program. But with the pandemic, life slowed down, travel stopped. I started thinking about it even more. I was ready to do more participation in the church. I was attending masses at the school when they were held there, and in the fall my superintendent suggested to us board office staff that we could attend the weekly noon mass at the church. And my friend Tara and I decided to do so, and it really was such a serene and quiet reset during the day, and that stayed with me during the Mass, but also once we left the church. Tara and I started talking about doing RCIA. We approached Father Al about it, and with some discussion, Father Al agreed to do a private RCIA for just Tara and I due to the pandemic. They weren't doing large groups. In January of this year, we actually started the RCIA course. I learned so much from the catechists as well as my mentor, Mike. It was a beautiful faith development journey. In June of this year, just 3 weeks ago, we had a private Mass to do our reconciliation, our confirmation, and we actually did our marriage vows in the church, which was amazing. After 30 years of marriage, to renew our vows in that way. For me, faith is a very quiet thing. It is something that is always a dialogue that's going on in my head, and in my quiet times, it allows me to reflect. I listen to a podcast that's the Bible in a year, so every day I listen to the new podcast, reflect on those readings. And then it's really interesting when I do come to church and those same themes and topics are talked about. It helps me to weave it all together into what I consider to be my faith. Love, really, I think it has to start with love of self. And that's something else that this faith journey has helped me to do, is to quiet my mind, accept who I am, and that I am a good person and that I have a lot to offer. And then once that self-love happens, it's just for me so easy to radiate that out to others. As I mentioned, my husband and I have been married for 30 years now, and it's very lucky to have a loving, supportive spouse. I have a son whom I love very much, and that faith, I think, just to me ties it all together and allows me to spread that love not just to my family but to my friends, my co-workers, and people that I meet.